Hi students, in this session we are going to discuss about improving team effectiveness. How we can improve the team effectiveness. Here team management include the following. A well managed project can succeed with a nominal engineering team. Here what is meant by a well managed project? Here, if the project manager has have the capability to manage the project in all the aspects and you have a full of resources in hand at that time with a nominal engineering team means development team or working team we can succeed the project. So that's why this says that a well managed project can succeed with a nominal engineering team. The second point is a mismanaged project will almost never succeed even with an expert team of engineers. In the second aspect, if we have a expertise people in our hand, expert team, even though we have an expert team, if the project manager is not capable of to manage the team perfectly, definitely the success rate of that project will be less. So that's why they says that a well managed team. So that means if you are capable of to manage the team in an effective manner at that time, if the developers of your project or the people who are working for your project in different fields, so even though they are an average expertise, so definitely you can success because of the project in all aspects has been well managed. And the second point is a well architected system can be built by a nominal team of software builders. Here what they say means architecture of the system is most important. If you have been created a well architecture of your system with a nominal expertise developers can build because of whatever the architecture we have proposed for the system that should be followed by a software developer. Here if there is any problem in the architecture of the system means definitely it will impact on the development also even though you have an expertise people. Here, the software developers cannot do on their own anything. They want to 100% follow the architecture which has been proposed by the design team. So that's why if an architecture is good or an architecture is called as a well architectured at that time with an average developers we can success. Next, a poorly architected system will flounder even with an expert team of builders. Here, my architecture of the system is poor. I have not created an effective design of my system. Even though we have an expert team of developers, that means a persons who are having more expertise in development, but that project will not be succeed because of that people who are the people involving in the development of the project, they will strictly follow the architecture. If there is a problem in the architecture itself, definitely that will be reflect on the development. So that's why finally they says that a well architected system can succeed with an average team of software developers. A poor architecture system will always fail with an expert team of developers. So even though we have an expert team of developers, nothing we can do because of we want to follow the architecture of the system. So like this, if these are all the points wants to be taken care by the software project manager. So that's why they says that the team management should have more impact on the software development. Here, Barry Boom has proposed five staffing principles. These are the principles proposed by a person, Barry Boom. If you follow these principles, definitely it will give a good result in development of your software. So these five principles are called as a staffing principles. So that is nothing but of related to the software person, people who are working for your project. The first principle is the principle of top talent. The principle of top talent. Here, the principle of top talent means use better and fewer people. Here, whenever you go for a team, in the team, there are some people who are working as a single team. So, who are the people working in the team? What are their talents? How many people would be there in the team? All these points should be taken into consideration. Use better. That means here, whenever you are selecting a person for any work, we will always try to use some better people because of I want to achieve a good quality or productivity, and also fewer people. Suppose if I have been taken a team of large size, at the time the monitoring and control will become say difficult. So that's why always use better and fewer people to manage the team. This principle is called as the principle of top talent. The second one is the principle of job matching. Fits the task to the skills and motivation of the people available. Here, different jobs are there. Whenever you go for different jobs, different fields of jobs, here job matching profile we want to take into consideration. For example, a person who is working for a long period of time in a testing, in a quality assurance wing, if you taken that people based on the experience, if you taken that person into the development means even though they have an experience, a person may not fit for your job. Like that only, whenever you are developing any project based on the domain you have, you want to select a technology or environment. You want to check the people whether the people is having hands of experience in that particular environment or technology. If you have an experience in that particular technology or environment, so definitely he can do a better work. Definitely it will be available. See, whenever we see some advertisements like job requirements, all these things, for example, we require Java programmer having hands of experience 3 to 4 years in Java. That means their intention is they want to take a person who is working in a software company, and also he should have an experience related to the job or related to environment if you are doing the work. So that's why this principle is called as the principle of job matching. The profile of the person should match for our job. Next, the principle of career progression. An organization does the best in the long run by helping its people to self actualize. Here, once a person has been joined in the company and working for a project, so at that time we also want to show the growth of the person in all the aspects. One is improving of technology because of once a person is working for our organization, so different technologies and different tools are available in the market, and day by day new ones are also coming. At that time, we want to provide some sort of trainings and all those things to the person to improve his career. So that means to make his knowledge advance as for the new technologies. And also we want to help the people in their self actualize. So not only improving the people in aspects of technical, we also wants to help the people in their self also. At that time, if you do these both things, definitely the person will work well for the organization and it will be good for the organization. Next, the fourth principle, the principle of team balance. Select people who have complement and harmonize with each other. How we can form a team? Select people who will have complement and harmonize with each other. So definitely, whenever you form a team, if the team wants to be success means there should be a good coordination and communication among all the people in the team. That is for most important. Then only the team will success. If there is a no coordination and communication among the people within the team means definitely it is not going to be success. Here also they says that select people who will have complement and harmonize. Whenever you are taking or selecting the people into a team, so you want to balance the team with experiences also. Suppose I take all the people who are having hands of experience more than 10 years above all the people means definitely you are going on increasing the cost of an application, because of we want to pay higher pays to them, automatically the cost of the application is going to be increase. So suppose if I want to try to reduce the cost, I will take all the people who are having 0 or 1 year of experience means they cannot they cannot produce a quality or productivity of the application. So that's why always tries to take a mixed experience of people and make the team balance. It whenever you are making a team balance, so we should consider these points. One is called as a raw skills. Next one is called as a psychological makeup the person should have, and the third one is a objective. Next, the last one is the principle of phase out. Keeping a misfit on the team and does not benefit anyone. Whenever you have some person who is not performing correctly or who may not suit for your job matching, there is no need to continue that person in the organization, because of he is not matched to our job profile or his performance is poor. So whenever you continue those person, it will not be benefit for the organization and we cannot extract more work. So the principle of phase out means just once you decide that a person who may does not done the work properly for your organization or who may not suitable for your project, simply terminate the person from our project or organization. So these are the things should be taken care by the project manager. So because of in one project there are several people who are working under the project manager, he wants to monitor and coordinate all the people. So at that time he wants to check or he wants to see all aspects of that developers or the people, and he wants to make them to work. So that's why the boom has been proposed these five staffing principles, so which will be more useful and these should be maintained by the software project manager. Thus following are some crucial attributes of a successful project managers. They deserve much more attention. Here, the skills, these are the skills which the project manager should have. If the project manager is having these type of skills, definitely that project manager will be success in his career or in his project. First one is hiring skill. Hiring skill is nothing but of recruiting the people for his project. So whenever you are recruiting the people for the project, different aspects we want to take into a consideration. First one is depends upon your application domain and depending upon the environment you are using in the project, you want to select the people. So here you should take utmost care whenever you are hiring the people into your organization. So here one is we want to make the balance in experiences. We want to see whether he is having an expertise in particular environment or technology, and better also we will check whether he is having some sort of experience in this particular domain. All these points should be taken into consideration. Based on that one, we want to select the persons for our project. Next, customer interface skill. So already we discussed that there should be a good communication between the customer and the developer, because of each and every developer may not interact with the customer directly. In between of these people and customer, the interface, the like an interface, the project manager will be at any point of time, or at any doubt has been raised in the project. So there we he should immediately wants to contact the customer and he wants to clarify the doubt. Here, if we establish a good communication, and if you are frequently interacting with the customer, means that will helps us a lot in the software development. So that's why the project manager should have a good customer interface skill. Decision making skill. Here in a project, whenever in the runtime, there is a chance to get different types of risks. When different types of risks has raised at the time, so at immediately or spontaneously the project manager wants to take a decision to overcome that problem. A simple example we can quote here. Whenever a person is, some people are working for a project, so in the middle of the project, if some persons has left the organization, definitely the development will comes down because of some of human resources has left the organization. Immediately you should take a decision what to do, how to overcome this type of problem. So like that, the project manager should have ready to take a decision if any risk has occurred during the software development or during the runtime environment. This is one of the good skill required for any project manager. If he makes the project manager is not able to take a decision, if he makes a delay, automatically the project development progress is coming down. Immediately he wants to rectify the problem and he wants to take a certain decision to which direction we want to move. Next, team building skill. Here also the project manager should have a capability of to form a good team. Here making of good team means how many persons wants to be in the team and what type of people we want to keep in the team and what are their experiences, how we want to establish a communication between those people, all the things. You should have a capability to form a good team. Here, team building means that will depends upon the organization, the size of the team. Some persons may in between of 3 to 6 is the moderate of team building, the size of a team. Some persons may take a 10, some organization may take a 10. Depending upon the organization policy and procedure, he wants to form the size of a team, and after forming the size of a team, what type of people can be used within the team, he wants to decide. And the last one is selling skill. So not only doing the work or developing a software project. So one of the important in software economics, improving of software economics is selling skill means marketing our projects. If we market well, the project means definitely the organization will got a lot of benefit. So that's why we can say that if a software project manager wants to become a successful or he wants to named as a successful project manager means he wants to prove it, these points. He should have a good hiring skills, he should establish a good customer interface skill,